In 1980, you had two major acts. First one being the Stephenson-Weidler Technology Innovation Act. And basically what it did is it set the foundation for tech transfer from federal agencies. And I think this is actually one where they created the Office of Research and Technology Applications, the ORTA. Are you all familiar with the ORTA name? Well, ORTA is kind of synonymous with tech transfer. In fact, in this book here, we made an intentional decision to basically say, let's stop saying the ORTA word because that's not exactly a household name. But let's start calling it tech transfer. So you'll see tech transfer in here, but up front you'll see ORTA referenced and then said, from here after it's going to be tech transfer. So the ORTA was established, and basically it said for labs that have 200 or more technical staff, they should have an ORTA, a dedicated person or office of people who do tech transfer. So under the Stephenson-Weidler Technology Innovation Act, it established the foundation for doing these things. It recognized the need that the government needs to disseminate information that we have for tech transfer. So all these things we have that we don't even think about as intellectual capital, we should be willing and able to transfer those as it makes sense. So that's that. It also requires lab to take a more active role in doing that. So in theory, if you establish an ORTA, you are taking an active role in helping do that, creating a funnel, a channel to do those things. Then in 1980, you also had the Bayh-Dole Act, and most of you have probably heard that. I mean, this is where, with federal R&D dollars, the people that we were funding, whether it's universities, small businesses, non-for-profits to do R&D on our dollars, it basically gives them the option to obtain the rights, ownership to innovation they create using the federal research dollars. That's huge. You think about your university tech parks, where they have hundreds potentially of companies out there in their tech parks. This basically gives those universities the option to take ownership in those innovations that we paid for as federal government. That sounds terrible. It sounds like it's us versus them. Don't mean to do that. This is good stuff. So they can take the dollars given to them under federal research, contracts, grants, whatever, actually go after and seek patents, and they're actually encouraged to profit from the commercialization of those technologies. That's a wonderful thing. That's a great way of doing tech transfer directly from the people who are actually doing the R&D. It also, kind of the counterpoint for the government, we get government purpose rights for those. While they can go out and commercialize them, the government retains a paid-up, irrevocable license to practice those for any governmental purpose. So that's a good thing to know as well. But the big boon in my mind has still been the universities who got those, who go after those patents. The next one is in 1986, we have the Federal Tech Transfer Act. And whereas the Stephenson-Weidler laid this big foundation of how you do it, when we get to 1986, it actually gives us a mechanism to do that in the CRADA. So we actually start getting some of the mechanisms to actually use and do that tech transfer. It also pushed the responsibilities for tech transfer from at the lab level or the agency level, it's down to an individual responsibility. So in theory, if you read the statutory authority, you go, well, this should be in everybody's performance appraisal. It's not, but the authority there is to do that. And that was, there's a handful shown here, but there's really 19 plus laws and executive orders dealing with tech transfer. This is important stuff. Congress has gone to a lot of great work to put things up.